Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Friday night edition of Not Another Rangers podcast after a nervy Thursday night whereby everything fell into place. I see somebody already in the comments saying everything fell into place. That's not something that happens very often, and we will celebrate, talk about and enjoy the top 8 of the Europa League, which was a fantastic achievement after a very hard-earned and very enjoyable and very challenging campaign. How are you, Ricky, this evening? It seems, it's only a few days since we spoke. It seems like forever ago already.
Yeah, no, mate, it was very good, unbelievable. Thursday nights or Rangers nights, I don't know what it is about that competition. I did predict that we would finish in the top 8, and when all the skittles started falling one by one, I was getting excited last night, and we almost threw it away at the end. But an unbelievable achievement, mate, which we'll get into. Positivity. It's good to do a positive pod once in a while. So well done to the players. Great achievement from the manager, and some good fixtures to look forward to into March, which is great to get a little break from it as well.
No, ideal, definitely. Scott, and how's yourself? I was seeing you last night, so what's changed last 24 hours?
Not a lot, guys. I'll get the same gear on. I just fell asleep. No, no, it's good. It's good to get a bit of luck for a change. We've had a lot of bad luck this season, various different types, but we've not really went our way with injuries or performances, and sometimes we create a lot of chances. We get hit in a sucker punch, and we couldn't have done that last night, to be honest with you. But it's about time it happened for us, because we don't have up. We've not had a lot of luck this season, so it's quite good to sit back now and watch other teams play their playoffs, and because we're in the top 8. Listen, none of them I thought we were going to get in the top 8, but we did. And I was watching it on my phone, and we were 9 freezes, and then we went 8. They scored, and you're like, shit, they're going to score again. But good luck to them. And listen, we'll talk about the game, but I'm just happy we were there, because I thought over the piece, they probably deserve it. They've not really had a bad game in Europe, maybe apart from Lyon at home, but we've actually played okay for some period of that, but we've not really had a bad European game. We've done really well this season, so the players kind of deserve that. League campaigns, different story, but in Europe they've been really good.
Yeah. No, and as I see Paul McCorrigal joining us, just please like, share and subscribe. I see you'll put it up no doubt during the thing, so please do that. So what we'll do is we'll cover the game at some points, some bits, not so much of the finer details, because there's lots to cover tonight. We've got the game to talk about. We've got European progression, what it means, and some of the drama around about that, and kind of views in the format. I think we'll chat about how we've enjoyed or not enjoyed some of the format. 3 days now, 72 hours, is it? A transfer window left, what that means for that. And then we've also got a game. There is a game, again, as there always is, against Ross County on Sunday afternoon. So I think my first question actually, before we even look at the game, Ricky, in terms of European progression, I was thinking this earlier on, it took us 8 games to get through this league phase. The seeding bit no longer matters in terms of the pot 1, 2, 3, 4. We have played 4. Is it 4? The teams finishing the top 8 above us. The top 8 that we played against. Where does this rank in terms of the last 5-6 years? I'm talking about the group phase, getting through the group phase. I was thinking about probably not had a better group phase.
I agree, mate. I agree. The teams that we had, the difficulty. I mean, remember at the start of the competition, people way overhype the English teams. I saw a guy on TNT that I quite respect, one of the journalists, a big scruffy guy, James, can't remember his second name, and he was, Man United and Tottenham's definitely going to win the Europa League. And I was thinking to myself, when does that ever happen? It just never. People just think because these guys have got all the money that they're going to win it, and they never ever do, And it's been a great competition for us, but for us, I think we've got exactly the same record at home and away. I think we've got 2 wins, 2 defeats. 1 defeat each, and then 2 draws. So an absolute fantastic achievement. The teams that we've played, and last night I didn't think we played amazing, but I tell you what, most of the games we've turned up and we have put on really good performances. And the amazing thing about us in Europe, Gary, it's like, look how many players we were missing last night. You look at that team we had on McCausland at right back. You've got Tav at centre back. It's just like, what is going on here, And we still keep managing. Fair play to the players. They keep digging out results because we needed that win last night. So when you're looking at overall achievements, every single year except for like in the last, I was looking today, we always get to the last 16 except for the year that we got to the final. So hopefully this year we can go quite deep in the competition again. I mean, as I said, what I enjoy about Europe is we're never the favourites, even depending on who we get in the next round. You don't want us to be the favourites. You just want us to turn up, enjoy the Thursday night. You know the players are going to perform, and Rangers on a Thursday night is always a great ride. It gives us, the competition's fantastic, mate.
Yeah. And probably the same question yourself, Scott. You know, I'm seeing Paul here saying, yes, you were one of the informed teams in Europe, and they were. I don't think they've been beaten in about 16 games across all competitions, although you would think they were rubbish given the fact that we beat them yesterday. I suppose looking at the whole competition overall, first those 8 games, performances, injury ravage, as Ricky says, no seeding anymore when you've not got the home and away thing that you had before to actually help you out in some ways, get a win away or get a draw away and sneak a win at home. How do you think? I mean, this to me is probably our best European performance in a league phase. Is that what you call it now? I don't know. In years.
It's just a kind of European league, isn't it, Gary, nowadays? It's not like a cup competition because all the games you play, but listen, it's your lucky the draw we come out of the hat into who you're going to get, because it's not a table thing. You're just getting different teams every week. And you might not play them home and away, you might play one that like they've done with Spurs at home, United away, and that type of stuff. So it's good, it's enjoyable. The only thing I didn't enjoy it was my bank balance. It was to get that quite a few times, but no, it's good because we played differently with opposition. And I know gone are the days we're getting teams for abroad and you're thinking, I will beat them, I might not beat them, because everybody's got players who are taking good, who can do a wee bit of stuff. So it's just how performing the night, isn't it? And we turned up really well this season. That's why we deserve to finish 8th. I think over the piece we deserve where we finished. And you always say the league table doesn't lie, but we do deserve it, because I think we've put enough into all the games to prove we're a good European side. But we've probably been a good European side since Gerrard came in. If you look at all the campaigns, they've done really, really well. Do you know what I mean? Under Pedro, it was poor, but since Gerrard came through, we've been a really good European side. It's just been domestically we've been failing. So it's good to see. Listen, we all love European football, and it's good when we get further. We've got a chance here. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to go through, because you just never know. But we've put ourselves in a good position. We've given ourselves a chance, and that's all we can ask for, to give ourselves a chance. And good to see Nicholas back. Maybe she can start praising and asking to criticise them. No, but it's good to see the club going forward, because that's all we want for the team. We want the team to go out, fight, get results, and see us pushing forward no matter what competition we're in, and that's what we're doing in Europe.
Yeah. I think it's worth reiterating, just before we move on to the wee bit, is that we played at Manchester United and Tottenham are 2 of the favourites to win the trophy. Olympiacos were the conference holders, having won that. Lyon were one of the top seeds. Nice, big spending French outfit. Probably, I think they were in the top 5 or so last time I seen them. Malmo were into the season, well into the season when we played them. And I'm trying to think who else I forgot about now. And both Union and FCSB probably outstanding campaigns, you know. When you look back over the whole entirety of it, Ricky, it's been phenomenal in that sense. And we might not go any further. But we're in the last 16 and we have competed. Even picking those 8 teams against, you struggle to think you'd manage to finish in the top 8 against that. Just have those 8 games. You know, they were so good. So.
Yeah, even our goal difference, mate. I was looking when I was watching yesterday. When I was looking at the table, when we were going from 9th to 8th, and we were there was a group of us on 14 points. Our goal difference +6 was phenomenal, you know. So, like you said, it's been hard games, it's been tough games, but it's been enjoyable. Look at our away performances. Started with Malmo. I mean, that was out of the blue, that performance, because we've been playing poor, and it's just a shame about that disastrous Christmas period we had at home domestically. But in Europe, every time the players it's been like a different team, you know. We went to Nice and won 4-1, and you were thinking to yourself, what is going on here, you know? And we probably deserved a point at Old Trafford as well against Man United, you know. We just lost concentration with that last 3 minutes, you know. Dessers scores an absolute world every time I see that goal, I'm in amazement. I've seen it so many times, and every single time I see it, it just gets better and better. We're 3 minutes away from a great point that we probably deserved at Old Trafford. So not every, and Olympiacos, they were on top form at that time when we went over there as well, and it's not easy going into that environment over there, but we went great point over there. So, and it's for the players as well, your Egermans, your Jeffdays, young players like that, the experience that they've had from this campaign this season. And okay, both of them were rotten last night, but we'll get on to that. But overall, the campaign, both of them have been fantastic. And the experience that players like that, young Barron, players like that are getting, Raskin is, I mean, Jesus, his season has been so good. What has happened? He was fantastic last night. So these players getting that experience playing in Europe, and the Europa League is our tournament, mate. We all get excited on it. It's mad to say, but I actually prefer it to the Champions League. And I know fans, and I understand we have to be in the Champions League because of money and everything like that. But this team's just now where we are is our level. And it's fun going and competing, and especially when the atmosphere, the fans are buzzing, and the place is going mad, and we're taking points off of these teams. It's exciting to watch, and like you said, it's been a great campaign.
So, what do you think? Just less about the campaign and more about the format. So, it is a big change the format, and I don't know if you watched on Wednesday night and on Thursday night. A lot of people glued to the TV as Ali McCoist was rhyming off the goals as they were happening. How have you felt the format's been?
Love it, Gary, man. Compared to it had to change. I mean, we were getting PSV every year in the Champions League qualifiers. I mean, Man City and Real Madrid, they're glued together, man. Even with the new format, they've still managed to pull each other out of the hat. But it was the same. The Champions League was getting tired. It was exactly the same teams that were playing each other all the time. I really like the fact that you play 8 different teams, so it's not the same team home and away. I think that makes it total. It's exciting for the fans as well. Like your fans, your diehards that go to every away game and stuff like that. You've got 4 different cities, and this way you're getting different teams to go and visit and cities to go and visit. Euro adventures to have. You don't get that with visiting. Nobody wants to keep going to the same city like every year, every 2 years. It just becomes monotonous,
And it became that get your win at home, get your point away. There was less meaning to it all, and usually by the end of the 4th or 5th game, everybody knew who was going through on it. Scott, your views on it? I've loved it actually. I think it's really good. I think it's far more exciting. It adds a bit. Whether it stays that way in a few years' time, who knows? But up to now, it's been.
If it's bringing money for UEFA and stuff like FIFA, they'll keep it that way. But it is good. It was exciting. Like I said last night after we scored, you're checking your phone to see where you are, because there was quite a few teams could finish it, because there's a lot of teams in roughly the same point. So it was exciting that way. Whereas you said before, usually you get maybe a last 1 or 2 games is dead rubber for a lot of people. I'm not saying last night was it for some teams down below, it was, but it's exciting that way where you're thinking we were 9th, we were 8th, maybe 9th, and you're thinking, my God, we can't even see the game. We need to. So it's exciting. Listen, the Champions League is a bit money, but that's exciting as well for a lot of teams here. Europa League, we're more comfortable in there. We're playing against teams. Yeah, we might not be like favourites for some games. Some games we will be, but we're very comfortable in that format. We're very comfortable in that where we are, because it's our level. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It is our level. Champions League, you're playing against teams maybe we see against Liverpool, they demolished it. You don't like that. You don't mind playing teams like that, but you don't like going away 5 ups getting 7-1. You feel totally fucking rubbish, and you can't be bothered, and you're angry, but you can't be so much angry because you're playing against a team that's far superior to your own. Whereas Europa League, doesn't matter who we play in this competition, I feel you've got a chance. Do you know what I mean? We should have got a point at Old Trafford. We should have maybe
Sneak to win against Tottenham.
We should have maybe beat Tottenham. We should have maybe done better against Lyon, because we had chances before they scored, even though ripped us apart for a couple of goals. But we're always in games. There's not really any game that teams run over us, and we'll make it continue, because I know the money wise it's totally different, but I'm enjoying this, Gary, because we do go on, and you do go into these games thinking you've got a chance here, even though deep down papers and everybody else telling you and the stats not you've not got a chance. But last night we've got a chance, because you're playing against teams roughly where you are.
No, and results prove it. You know, certainly since Clement's come in, we've got to give him his due. In most of the European games, that was his first defeat last week against Man U. It was away defeat, very unfortunate. So there's been a lot of comments inside now as I see people talk about the game. So let's move into the game, Ricky. Team lineup. There wasn't enough a lot to talk about, so just very briefly, I suppose the big decision was about the defence, and it started off King and Tav. Not sure who's lining up where. The game kicks off. King's over at right back, and then within 50 minutes, well, within a minute or so, didn't it? A head knock and very, very unlucky. I suppose just your thoughts of the team lineup and maybe a little bit about King, because the guy can't catch a break.
Yeah, I mean, the team lineup was sensible from the manager, I thought, you know. I mean, we saw Suter in training, we all got excited, and but I thought it was the right decision not to start Suter, and you could tell after when King got injured. I mean, what a shame for the boy, because he gets his opportunity and then bang. And I think if he's going to play in the future, it's going to be his cover at right back, and he's no centre back, and I think he's proved that he's not going to be a back for Rangers. But it seems like the manager does want him, because you thought he would have been one of the ones that was either sold permanent or out on loan. So this was his big opportunity last night, and straight from kick-off, smashed. And you could tell it was a bad one, because you could tell, right, like he tried to play on for 10 minutes, and then he said on the TV he couldn't see, you know. And the guy went past him, and he managed to tackle him on instinct, but it was a bad one, and you can't take chances with a head knock. I actually wanted to see Hutton come on. I saw Hutton warming up, and I was like, come on, give him a chance. But he went with McCausland, and to be fair to McCausland, he was better at right back than he was at right wing. I actually thought he did all right at right back, and Tav was good at centre back. What is going on? Tav like straight into centre back, and straight away he's the only centre back that crosses the ball for a great ball for an assist. You know, you must have been Jesus. I wouldn't. Your seat must have been soaking underneath your seat when he done that, man. So no, it was.
No, don't you worry. This is on the agenda. We're going to talk about Tav and Dessers, my two favourite players. About topic of conversation.
Yeah. Nah, the lineup was good, mate. The lineup was it was pretty much what we expected. It was great to see Cherny back. I wanted to see when the young boys get a chance, but for me, Cherny is a massive player for this team. Like, I hope we can get him on a permanent. I understand both sides of the argument. People are saying, like, okay, there's no sell on there, so if you spend 5-6 million, it's probably you're going to lose that 5-6 million. But does every player we sign have to have a sell on? If he's going to give you 3-4 years of constant numbers and get you competing for trophies, then. But so it was pretty much the lineup we all expected with the injuries we had, and it was tough for the manager. But we dug out the win, Gary, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, there's lots of comments. There's a wee spell of comments on the side from about Agaman, and we're probably not going to cover them much tonight because there's lots of other people to talk about. You know, and we had a brief conversation earlier on in the group chat. He didn't have a good game last night. Some lovely touches, some great skills, some good things, but that's fine. Players don't always perform. One of those games when he didn't pass at the right time or ran when he shouldn't have, or dribbled, but that's not a negative. I see what people said McCoy was slating him a bit, but he still looks an exceptional player who had a bit of an off night. And so I don't know. I mean, there's probably not a lot to cover in terms of his contribution to the game last night.
I thought Gary actually played better than a lot of folk give him credit for. So I thought he helped Hefty a lot defensively. He was constantly coming back, helping him out. Whereas Cherny on the other side was leaving Ross McCausland 1-on-1 at time, and he was on a yellow card. Do you know what I mean? Which wasn't great, but I don't think Cherny was 100% fit, to be honest with you. But I thought Agaman put in a shift down that side. He did, and I think he's better centrally, but he was asked to do a job, and I thought he'd done it. Yeah, his final ball lets him down at times, but a lot of players like that, and you know, Big Dessers is the same, but he improved last night. But listen, no every player can play great every game. But if they're still fighting and trying to put in a performance, that does me. It's when they start hiding it, that's a problem. But listen, Agaman's class. He's going to get better, and the better he gets, the less time will be us, because teams are starting to sniff about him, and then they'll be long until somebody finds him up there. Do you know what I mean? But no, the boy's still learning, he's still young. Like you said it himself, you bounce off him, he's that good. I mean, he runs with the ball and can't get him. But some of his first touches, the way he plays, he's very composed, but he plays like he's dead laid back. Nothing phases him. And he will have to improve a few things, he knows that himself, if he goes to a better league, but I just think the boy's class.
Oh, he's outstanding. I think he's got real talent. But
Gary, every player in world football, I mean, they look at Barcelona, that kid they've got that's 17 that's going to be the best player in the world. Do you think that he plays like Messi every single game, mate? It's
100%.
Egerman's playing. Look at you with your Not Another Rangers podcast cups, man. What's happening here? Anyway,
UK based, Ricky only.
UK based only, you racist monkeys. Anyway, so no, for us, no, listen, Egerman has been unbelievable, mate, and he didn't have he had a bad second half. First half, he was great, you know, and you've got to remember, they completely changed the team shape last night, you know, we went back to 4-3-3. Egerman was basically playing as a left winger last night. I think he would have been better in the Bajrami role, like to get closer to the striker, but in Bajrami out on the left, I thought he could have switched him at certain times, you know. But we played. He played to keep the pitch really wide last night. So yeah. Bajrami, like Egermani was like that's the furthest I think I've seen him actually play away from the striker. So I think that sort of had effect on him in the second half as well. But I mean, listen. If we're having a go at Egerman for that performance last night, we may as well give up, boys, because he's been fantastic since he came in the team.
100%. I think that's the point in it. You know, people will be have average games, slightly poor games. It doesn't detract from their ability. That's kind of how it works. Every footballer does it. Gaza done it. Laudrup done it. McCoy's done it. You know, it's part of the game. I think just briefly on Ross McCausland, Scott. You know, he came in right back. Never seen him play there before. He is struggling for form and confidence now as it is. And you've seen a lot of time people try to coach him through the game, try to talk to him. And I think I said it last week. There's a few, particularly second half, when Ricky was saying it, he just looks safe. He doesn't look like he's wanting to try things, which is a bit of disappointment for him. Probably no helping his kind of case to get in the team more regularly.
I think his confidence maybe a lot, Gary, because he's been out of the team that much, but he came in and played right back in a game out of that importance is really done really well, I thought, especially when he won a yellow card very quickly. He was diving into a few challenges, and it was only common sense he was going to get a yellow sooner than later, just because of a couple of tackles he made, even though the referee let their players off for a lot of stuff. Listen, I think Ross is decent. I think he always puts in a shift. He never tries to duck out his responsibilities. It's just long term. Is he good enough to be starting and to be a player in a starting 11? Probably not. As a squad player, he's probably fine, but going forward, he might need better. But when he comes onto a park, he gives 100%. He fights, he tries, and that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask for your player. Do you know what I mean? That's all you can ask. So,
no,
that's all you can ask.
We'll leave that up. I don't think it's true, but we'll leave it up anyway. I think there's cheers, Scott, for that. So
I thought he done well last night, because I thought at times Germany was leaving him 1-on-1 so when he coming back, but I know Germany was maybe struggling with fitness, but I thought he done well, especially Tab next to him, because Tab was no centre back, even though I thought he played defended better there. He does it right back, but that's just a bit of tongue in cheek there, Gary. But I thought Tab did play really well centre back. That's because Mr. Popper's talking through the game when he's at right back. Nobody's telling him what to do.
So see that probably leads us nicely on to the first goal then. So the first goal comes and it's a goal from a corner, which must be we're rattling them in the goals to the corners. Short corner, a horrendous ball back to Czerny. I don't know what he was trying to do with that pass back, and Tab plays across. I thought it was quite clever. Probably not really heard me go. Proper kind of makes a dart forward, which takes away the defenders and leaves Raskin at the back post. I don't know if it's deliberate, but it certainly looked like something they'd worked in. We're Raskin headers the ball back the way it's coming at the back of net. Really good goal and got us into the lead of what after not particularly doing that well, Ricky, up to that point. But it was an average game.
Spot on, mate. The game was pretty 50-50 at that point. Obviously, McCausland had came on at right back, disrupted our team quite a bit, but it was a great ball in from Tav, right on the nose. And Raskin, I mean, he had exactly the second opportunity in the second half that he could have scored as well. So great to see him in the right place at the right time. Got his head on it perfect. Dessers had a good chance before that from a header as well that was just off target, but Raskin just kept his eye on the ball, and it was a great time to score, to get 1-0 up, because the crowd was okay, the atmosphere, but it wasn't you guys were there obviously, it wasn't the usual fantastic European night, probably because we'd qualified already. So we'll take that 1-0, and yep, it was a good header, good goal. great to get ahead at that point.
So I'll stick with you just on Tav then at this point, just because I want to try and pick out the certain
Like
players.
you say, Gary, it's good to see next season's captain getting a goal last night, getting the first goal.
Next, do you know I watched? There's a bit just before I even come to that. There's a few times a game if you watch, and Scott, you've seen it as well at the game, that Raskin and Tav and kind of Diamandi coming together and talking through and arguing about each other about who should we wear and stuff. It's actually quite interesting to watch.
I've seen Raskin last night. I watched the highlights back, and he's constantly talking to the ref.
I like that.
He went back to him. See when he get pulled in the second half, and he played on and Tierney hit the post, and he never ever pulled the guy back for pulling because that was a yellow card for me. But Raskin's still nibbling it. I'm saying, why did you know? Whereas Tab, I'm not saying that's a thing you think about it. Tab doesn't do that, but whereas I like somebody does that because every other team does it, especially against us, and they get stuff. So it's time we done these things back. And Raskin, he's not doing it bad enough to get booked. He's always saying things to the ref. Watch him. It's good to see somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good spot.
100%. So I'm just going to pick out some players as we go through some of the bits. So I'm going to expect to have the now just because he was probably listening to other pods, listening to something, and certainly the game. It was a toss-up between him and Dessers with Raskin and Diamandi close behind him for the best players in the park yesterday. And playing in an unfamiliar position in centre-half, same as last week against Man U. I suppose just a really good performance, blocked a certain goal and assist. He's found his new position.
The manager was interested. That was interested, but the problem is our right back's injured again. Our other right back is he got hit by a crisp packet when he was running down the touchline, and that's him out for 4 months now. But no, Tav was interesting. He was interested, and we're getting a few players back now, so it's great to see Suter back. So Proper's been decent as well. You know, Proper's really with Enciala has came into a bit of form as well. So we're suddenly in a position but we're still quite weak when balls come into our box, Gary. That's the problem. But I'm glad you picked the 4 players out because I think Raskin and Diamandi's got a really good partnership now in midfield. You know, I really like them. I think they suit each other's game. Raskin's the little bulldog and Diamandi's the ball carrier. And I can see improvements in Diamandi as well. I think this is the best form he's shown since he's came to Rangers. He's releasing the ball when he should be. He's carrying the ball when he should be. He's got that dig in midfield, and he's really settled into a bit of form, which is great to see, you know, because he was one of the ones that were getting picked on at the start of the season. So, and I agree. It was between Dessers and Tav for man of the match. I thought Dessers was man of the match. I actually thought that was his best performance, even though he never scored. The offside one was super tight, and I thought that was his best performance. And because he had to be what we said he couldn't be, which was that lone striker last night. Because we went back to 4-3-3, and I thought he was excellent. He held the ball up. His play for the second goal was as good as him scoring a goal. He laid it on a plate for Tierney. It was fantastic. Tavernier as well, mate. He settled right into centre back. He looked good. He talks. He's more of a captain at centre back than he is at right back. At right back, he's concentrating on defending, but at centre back, he orders. He was barking at everyone and pulling people about in the defence and stuff. So it was great to see. And an assist, still, it's unbelievable. It's still his ball. He's still taking every corner. He's still taking every throw-in, even at centre. But you could put him in goals, and he would still be taking the corners, man. It's like, but no, it was good. It was a good performance from the 5. I thought the players were good last night, and they were really the engine and drove the team on for a good victory.
So I will come back to some of them because I think it's worth talking about a few of those different aspects of it. We go to half time, Scott. You know, not much. We lose a goal, which again at the time I thought was a shove on Tav. My daughter thought it was a handball, and then it turns out it was an offside. It was I was no idea what was happening. Very lucky. I think we spoke at half time about some little bit of question mark about Butland. You know, we've been harsh, been behind it. But it probably brings us on to some of the comments that's come out. There's a few different comments about Butland and just his form. And when we get to the second goal, the goal, so they do score with 10 minutes to go. How you can score ahead of 18 yards, I'm not quite sure. And obviously the one that Tav kind of blocks off lines. I think there is a real concern, I suppose, about Butland's confidence.
I think his confidence has been knocked, yeah. And listen, I think when Jack came to us, he performed brilliantly, didn't he? He was saving everything, he was clean sheets, and we thought we were going to watch him. We all said it, we all sat here and said that he's probably the best keeper in Scotland, maybe even the UK League performing, but I think he just came back to the level he was at the past 10 years with different clubs in and out of the first team. I think he maybe goes through spells of being really good, and he lets a couple on, he takes on knock his confidence. Then he starts maybe overthinking things, or starts, don't know, just something on his mind, and he maybe lets a few more in, maybe has a wee mistake here and there, and that frustrates the fans, but also maybe frustrates managers thinking, can we trust him in big games? And we've seen ourselves, big games he seems to make mistakes. Other games he's fine. I mean, shot stop on his point, it's when he comes off his line or when he has to maybe do it. Last week he punched the ball into his net at Old Trafford, but then the next minute he's pulling off 3 or 4 good saves. And you're thinking that's the same goalkeeper. So it's hard because all goalkeepers make mistakes. No one have to make one mistake that's remembered forever. Whereas if you're a striker, you can miss 4 chances, but if you score the winner, you're brilliant. It's just the way football is. But I think at the end of the season, if he keeps it up, the manager's going to have to think seriously because he's earning a lot of money. And I just think the manager's going to see that to kind of have him behind my back line next season. Because Clement's going to be here. We all know that. Listen, I'm still not his biggest fan, but I give him credit for what he's doing at the moment. But I think he's going to have to say that I still want him behind my back four, even if he gets a settle back four. Making no mistakes, that can keep out of defence as well. Or will we start to get into a better runner for him? I don't know. I know he's better than Liam Kelly. Liam Kelly is number 2, but Jack's better than him. But can we afford to let him go and bring in somebody on a lesser wage who's going to perform just as good or maybe better? We'd probably good. There's a lot of decent goalkeepers out there. I'm not just talking about UK, I'm talking about all wide, and Ray Coppington scouting is looking at quite a lot of different places. So I don't. It's worth. But Jackson, for him, has to improve. I've seen somebody said he's had a kid as well. And listen, I've got 3, and you know you're up uni yourself, Gary. You've got kids, and Nicky, you're up and down through the night. But to me, that doesn't mean you should miss a cross ball or not do something because that's what you're paid to do. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think the manager maybe him is going to have to sit down. Hopefully, Jack works through it. But I just think there's question marks here all the time when you get into games where you're needing everybody to be on it, and you always think Buckland's got a mistake in him.
Yeah, I just think he looks hesitant just now. I know there's a comment for James Glasgow about do you think we're good defensively? I don't. I think it was a strange game. It was one of those games you could have won 4 or 5-0 if you finished the chances, or you could have lost 2 or 3-1, or it could be a draw. It was a very weird game. There was lots of chances for either end. Both didn't defend particularly well, but there were clear-cut chances. I think a lot of time was potentially ours. So we get in the second half, and this probably brings it on to Dessers and Tierney. I want to pick up the two of them because it's Dessers by this point in the first half. You can see he's brimming with confidence. He's beaten 4 players inside the box, takes the deflection. He's holding the ball up. He's doing everything that we've been asking him to do for the last 18 months. He gets the ball left hand side, starts galloping down that side, and I'm waiting for him to do what chop after chop after chop. But he actually just looks up, passes the ball across, and Tierney finishes. So I suppose my 2 questions to you is and one about Dessers' performance overall, because I think it's probably the best he's played. But just before we do that, Tierney, I think he's got 20 goal contributions, and I think as Scott says, he doesn't look fit. He also gets supposed to a cracking effort. A lot of time does he contribute during the game, but he's always liable to do something.
So start on Tierney. For me, if the price is fair, I'm bringing Tierney in because we've had a problem on that right side for years and years and years. And I understand people going, oh, 5 million, he's got no sell-on value, blah, blah, blah. But listen, we've got plenty of players that are coming in the team that do have sell-on value. If you've got a player that's adding numbers like that and he's consistent, he's pretty consistent for a winger, right? He does have games where he doesn't contribute that much, but even in the games he doesn't contribute that much. He's quite like even the cup final against Celtic. You know, he's liable to pop up with just that one bit of magic like he did for Danilo. So for me, if you can pay the money, then you bring Tierney in. For me, no brainer. I think he could be, if you're building a title-winning squad, he could be one of the players that could be a part of that. And you can tell he loves playing for Rangers. He's settled in Scotland. People from that part of the world always settle pretty well in Britain and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry about that side of things. So for me, I would try and get that one done. Now, Dessers, man, Jesus, I'm getting bazookaed in the comments today. I'm reading all this. It's like you're not allowed to change your opinion, man. For God's sake. Right. Dessers and Tavernier as well, man. Tavernier was rotten at the start of the season. So if players play rotten, we're speaking about Butland just now. What the fans want us to do? You want us to sit here and go, oh, Butland's playing amazing. Oh, yeah, we got beaten from a header from 18 yards. That's all totally acceptable for a 6'5" goalkeeper, you know. We're here to give opinions, and these opinions can change. Dessers was rotten, and if you asked 99% of the Rangers support would have sold, except for you. Exactly. Would have sold Dessers if we got a decent offer, and a lot of fans would still sell him. I would probably still sell him if someone comes in with 4 or 5 million for his age.
Yeah.
Even though he's going through an unbelievable purple patch right now, scoring goals, contributing to the team. Looks up. One thing I will never ever question about Dessers, and he is absolutely made of Teflon, that guy. You can do whatever you want to him, and he does not care. He will bounce back. He's always fit. So for me, you've got to give him credit just now. The way he's performing, he's scoring goals. His setup for the goal was absolutely phenomenal. It was as good as him scoring a goal. The way that he got to the byline, cut it back, laid it on a plate for Czerny. Czerny still had a bit to do because there was a goalkeeper and 2 defenders on the line. Great finish from Czerny. We needed that second goal as well because they were the team. At that time we were all right. That was probably our best spell of the game where we did have a few chances. But then they came into it and started. They were a decent outfit. I thought they were a decent outfit, and they created chances as well. So listen, if players are playing well, we'll praise them for playing well. I think we're pretty fair on this podcast. But if they're playing rubbish, they're going to get. You've got to say it as you see it. Bajrami's not performing just now. Butland's completely shut out of confidence. Listen, Butland's a decent goalkeeper. There's a good goalkeeper in Butland, right? It's up to the goalkeeping coach to forget about bloody doing substitutions and telling somebody where they need to be at set pieces. Concentrate on getting your goalkeeper back to form. The drop-off to Kelly is massive. Butland is our number one. He's on 20 odd grand a week for a reason to be Rangers goalkeeper number one. For me, he's got till the end of the season to see that old form, or a decision has to be made in the summer. Do we try and get some money for him and try and see if we can get a better goalkeeper out there? I know the manager absolutely loves him because he's a great character in the dressing room and the training ground and stuff like that, and that'll come into it. So, but I think a decision is going to have to be made in the summer if he continues with this form, because this is the way he's always been throughout his career. He has great seasons, and then he has seasons where he looks like he's never played in goals before. So a big decision has to be made between now and the end of the season for sure.
Yeah, I think that's it. You know, I mean, enjoy it while he's playing well, and criticising him not playing well. That's how it should work. You know, if you get 3 million for a 30-year-old or something around that, irrespective as Rangers, we probably need to look at that. But we're focusing, as we do, because we run twice a week. There's other games. There's another game around the corner. We're focusing on last night's game, Scott, and last night was probably the best I've seen him all round play, and it was probably unfortunate not to get a goal. He did a couple of really good efforts, and overall, but his overall performance, linking up, touch, control. We've said many times he's better when other people are out close to him, and when he's on that form, he looks like a real player.
He does, Gary. Listen, last night he was the best player apart for me, and I've criticised him as well, but I just think he's actually looking happy. I think he actually looks happy in the park, and he was doing things last night he's not done before in games, as in he ran back about 50, 60 yards to win a tackle. You don't really see Dessers doing that, so he's putting the graft in, which that's all we wanted for him before. And I know he never scored, but he done everything else. He done everything else that was asked of him, and sometimes when you do that, the fans appreciate it as well, and I think he's seen that himself. I was getting appreciated last night, even though he didn't put the ball in it. And I know a striker will want to score goals, but it's everything that. Listen, every player that we've got has got a price we sell for. We can't say no, but nobody come in for players. Yeah. Czerny, I would like to see. I like to see his buy, but it depends on the money. Listen, I wouldn't say anybody this just now. I would keep the money until the summer, because I think we're going to bring in a bit of money. I think we're trying to get players off the baseball, which we've done. Few players out on loan and stuff like that. Some are coming back right enough. I don't Ben Davis will be back, but I don't know about the rest of them. So, and if we can, and then we go out and start to maybe sign a few people in few contracts and stuff like that for the summer and then look and see what's here, because they've got enough in this squad to carry us, I think. We've seen the young person and doing really well. And I would rather see us putting in Rice, Curtis, Lovelace in games rather than bringing somebody else in loan for 6 months. Not even an option to buy them, just bring somebody else in loan to give us a body. Because I think the boys are proved, given the chance, they're capable of taking it and they're good enough. Do you know that way? And if Dessers goes, he goes with the best of wishes. If he stays, I'll be happy as well, because he's starting to contribute in different ways, and you just hope he keeps it up. And I know you said, well, Gary, he looks, and a couple of people in the chat said that he does look better playing with somebody next to him. Maybe like a man and Cherny, and you get Diamante to come behind him. Barami, I think there's a player there, but some, like as you two, Gary, some players just don't get certain leagues. They go to a league and they don't settle in. They can't, it doesn't suit their style of game. And I don't know if that's Barami or not. I thought last night he was poor again. I thought he gave the ball away too much. I thought he was really tracking back. I just didn't. I think Raskin and Demanded did not work because he was giving the ball away. I thought they had to do more work. But hopefully it comes good. Some players take longer to settle, as you've seen the proper. They'll wrote him off. He started to get a wee bit of consistency in his game, but no other player's going to do that. But I think Barami's at a stage where if he's not going to settle, he's not going to improve, I think we've all got money back in him, because I think he's all rated across European leagues, so I think that's a no-brainer. But listen, the manager has to do what he can do between now and the end of the season. They've got a Scottish Cup and they've got Europe. The league's gone, but that's when you've got to play some of the younger boys and still win your games, but you can't go out and keep getting league up to start picking up points away from as well. But just take every match at the moment, like I've always said, as it comes, one game at a time, because we're starting to play well, but as he's built this up, it can come tumbling down very quickly as well.
So I'm just going to cover this comment from Paul, and this leads us to the end of the game then. So we move on to 5 weeks from now. We're about to play Fenerbahce, Twente, Bodo Glint, or another one I can't remember, Anderlecht. And what you can do, you can add 3 players and remove 3 players, Ricky. So I think Matondo, Dowell, and another can be removed probably, and bring in 3 additions. So one of the questions is obviously, who would you change?
Hadji would be in there, because we miss Hadji, because like that front 3, I think we've got something good going with him, Igaman, and whoever the striker is, and probably so it would be Hadji. I would add Hadji, Danilo if he's fit. That's the big question. He was meant to be out for 4 weeks ago, and also Enciawa for me. Give him some experience. I think he's been excellent. I want to see him and Suter build a wee partnership. Yeah, that's the 3 I would be going with. I totally agree with that. And that's 3. That's 3 massive additions. I mean, that's the only thing I don't like about this new format. I think it's crazy that you need to name the squad so early, and you're playing matches past almost into the end of January. We're in the end of January now, and you can't add players throughout. Even one like Joker or something like that. They need to look at that, because it's such a silly rule,
So Ricky's thinking that, then let's talk transfers then, right? So we'll talk about adding those ones. So would you be looking to buy? So we've lost Matondo. Can't find him. Nobody not find him for a while, anyway, to be fair. So he's away at Hanover on loan with an option to buy. Dowell's away. Lowry's away. I'm trying to think that might be all the ones left. Archie Stevens,
Fraser,
Robbie Fraser, somebody else came out with Blair McLuhan, is it?
McKinnon.
Go McKinnon. There's a number of, so there's certainly lots of moves being made to get people game time for the younger ones, get rid of the ones that are no longer in the plans. So a couple of questions: would you get rid of Lawrence, or who else would you like to see leave between now and the 3rd of February?
Lawrence, Yilmaz, and Dessers. If we had offers for any of the 3, I would move all 3 of them on, because I still think.
How much would you want for them?
Well, listen, Coppin. You can say what you want about Coppin, but so far he's doing. I And I know people are going, oh, they're only on loan, but he's doing a good job of getting these guys out, you know. I mean, if you'd said to me at the start of the window he would have moved Matondo, Dowell and all that on, I would have been very, very happy. Because you're mentioning all these players never have not contributed anyway, Gary. The thing about our squad is I don't know if you've seen the press conference with Kulusevski that plays for Tottenham. Did you see his press conference when he went for Daniel Levy? He was going mad at for the chairman. He's like, look, it's nothing to do with the manager. We've only got 9 or 10 players. We're playing matches here every 3 days. I am knackered. Every 3 days I'm playing matches. And that's the same with Rangers squad, man. We've got a group of players, Tavernier, Dessers, you could go through the whole team that have to play every 3 days. What's the point of us having sports science, mate? So it doesn't matter who the manager is. Like, that has to change, yeah. And you can. What I will say, he did say you can moan about him saying about the injuries and stuff like that, right? Maybe he was a little bit naive, Gary, right? He thought that he could change your Matondos, your players like that, and their heart just wasn't in it playing for Rangers. They were happy to accept the money. It was best for these guys. I can't believe how young Matondo is as well, but it was best that all these guys move on. So if we can get rid of Lawrence, I mean, I thought it was telling yesterday that he brought on the young boy that came on for 10 minutes, and people that are digging that young boy out today, have a word with yourself, for God's sake, man. The guy was on the park for 10 minutes, but it was telling that he's bringing these guys on now, and he's not bringing on your Lawrence, your Dowell, your Matondo. So there's I don't know if it's came from above, but there's been a massive shift ever since the Christmas period, January period, with the way that the club was going. Suddenly Rice, and we were calling for it at the start of the season, you know. But it's great to see Rice and players like that. But the only thing I'll say about that, though, Gary, is I still feel like these players are on the bench, but I don't know if the manager trusts them like I want them to trust them, you know. I want them to be proper first team players. Or I don't want them just token being on the bench. They have to be first team players, especially your Rice and your Finlay Curtis. They should be. We're playing Queen's Park in a couple of weeks. We're playing Ross County. If we go 2-3 up against Ross County, these guys should be coming onto the park in 50, 60 minutes. That's the substitutions you should be making to give them. That's how these guys will get the experience, and we're going to see if they can do it at Ibrox, if we can trust them away from home. We have to see these guys going forward before the end of the season.
Yeah, no. Just when talking about injuries, I wrote down earlier on who's out. Sterling, obviously Caston Virgil, because we mention him every week, just for some reason, despite him not even being with us. Ridvan, Balogun, Barron, Cortez, Danilo, now almost all of them are regular attendees in the hospital bed. And as you said, Ricky, they're probably not adding a lot of value at times. In terms of Scott, then looking, so if you get those guys back, obviously the younger players that have moved into the squad, there's a question I think from somebody: do you think we'll join 1-3-3 new signings? Do you think he will look for new signings, or can it go with what we've got and try and bleed these young players in?
He said himself, didn't he? Might be 1 or 2 in, didn't he? But he didn't promise. He just said there might be. I think maybe another 1 in. Don't know if it's on loan or maybe permanent. I don't see the point in splashing. January is very difficult because you get rid of cast off, so you're paying somebody's wages because our team can't afford it like we're trying to do. So I would actually just bank the money until the summer. I'll look at what we've got, like pre-contracts, and then see if there's anybody out it's available or someone we can maybe jump in for quickly before that window opens, just to see what the ring is, because I think we can do that better. I don't think we need a lot in the door. I think the squad's big enough with the competitions we're in. Yeah, Europa League's a challenge, but I think that's proven all the injuries we've had and the squad of players that's here. We can challenge. We can. Doesn't matter who we play against, we've got a chance. So I don't think we need to go out and spend money. That's just me. Other people might want. Fans always want signings. It's good to see signings, but I just feel at this moment in time we don't need them. Maybe 1 or 2, like someone says, maybe on loan or whatever. But I wouldn't be pushing the block out for anybody. I think we have to wait for the summer because we still need to get players away because we get too many players getting paid money and not contributing. Do you know what I mean? The players are out on loan, but you don't know if someone coming back, like I said. So I know John said there to them. I've heard Josh Mulligan and Cameron as well, but I don't know if that's possible. If it's not, you've seen a lot of stuff. Remember, they didn't announce Conor Barron the last time until after the window shut. Then they announced it, didn't they? So I think it just depends who we're going to go and see me in Cherny. One I'd like to bring in, but just the better he plays, the more money his team will win. It's just the thing I would do. Somebody puts him out on loan. Like Ben Davis is at Birmingham, he's playing really well, and they think he's one of the better defenders. So if he'd agreed a fee, we can't change it. But if we haven't, you were saying, well, the game's promoted. English teams have got a bit of money, and Birmingham City's got a bit of money with their owners. So you think, well, instead of giving us 2 million, give us back the 4. Do you know what I mean? Because that's not a lot of money to teams down there. So I think it's just if somebody goes out knowing they play well, the team wants to buy them. Sometimes you put a price up, and that'll probably unfortunately going to happen to Chelsea because there's other teams watching as well, Gary, from maybe England or Europe, thinking you could take him on the other side as well. So that's where maybe get a bit of a challenge. I don't think you get first dibs on him, but if he enjoys it here, then you would bring him back. But it's one of the times you're going to have to wait for someone to see.
Gary, we should be bringing in a lot of money in the summer, though. You look at all these players that are on loan. I mean, that must be. You've got Siffy and Ish. You've got Davis, who Birmingham, by all accounts, want to sign. They've got Dowell on loan. You've got Matondo. We've got so we should be. I agree with Kerr. Like we should be accumulating quite the pot of money. But for me, I agree with Kerr. I would get the pre-contracts done about your Cameron. There's no point in really bringing him in. Okay, if you chuck 50 grand and you say you can bring him in, that Mulligan's out of contract as well. But what I would be looking to do if I was Coppin is the way that we signed the young players last season, we should be doing that with experienced players this summer coming. So basically, we should get our business done nice and early, clear plan who we want, get them in and get the team integrated for these Champions League qualifiers because we need to get into that Champions League to get that money, mate. So I don't think I know this is quite weird to say, but I don't know if you guys agree. I don't think we take these Champions League qualifiers serious enough. You know, I always feel like the team's not ready and we're scrambling around for signings and everything. It's like I don't know what it is with the board. Like the board they should understand the money. The money is not the same as it was in the past. Celtic are getting like 40, heading towards 50 million for this campaign for the Champions League, you know. So we need to get in there and get at that table for the club to be able to grow, you know, because that's the stage that we're at. The club's stagnating with Europa League, even though we know we're getting a decent amount of money in, but the club's stagnating. So we need to be ready for these qualifiers to try and get into that Champions League. And I definitely don't want to see loan players. There's no point in bringing in this Bobby Clark, is it, on loan that's cost 8 million. We're not going to spend 8 million on Bobby Clark, who's just signed for Salzburg. So players like that are just, I don't see the point. Hopefully it's just rumours. I know there's a lot of rumours this time of year, but maybe one would be nice at the end of the window. Just, it's always nice, these shiny new toys, man. We're like kids, Rangers fans, so a nice new shiny toy for the second half of the season would be nice. A striker that's fit.
So if you one striker, if you had the choice about any one position, 1 to 11, you go with a striker. Bring in.
The way things are, then I'll probably, I probably want 10 positions, mate. I'm greedy, but like if you give me one, I've only got a choice of one. I'll say striker, yeah.
But you just got what position? One player between now and Monday. What position?
Goalkeeper.
See that for that daft comment, you can answer Curry's question on there. So, is the new assistant manager that joined us from Brocken, the assistant manager joined us from Belgium, from Strasbourg, was it? He is assistant manager.
Listen, I let him. He's never been an assistant manager. It's just
I know.
There's a link up between the players and the manager. It's all it is. I mean, teams bring in coaches. Get a wee bit of rapport between the lads in the dressing room and the manager, because the manager sometimes doesn't get too close to the players personal wise. He keeps his distance, but I think that's what Comont does. So if he wants Allardyce to stay, that's fine with me. This guy brought in, I don't know anything about him at all, but by all accounts he seemed reading stuff about him. He's a really good coach. So hopefully he can run. It's always good for the players to get another voice in it and know how to hear it before. Because sometimes if you're there for a long time, you get fed up listening to the same voice telling the same thing. So to bring this new guy, it might give him some ideas, might give him some other stuff to think about, and you might see other stuff on these players that the people there haven't seen. So hopefully he does well.
Aye, Gary, he was Moroccan. He was a Moroccan youth team coach. There's a lot. There's a lot of talent in Morocco. They've got an outstanding group of talent coming through. So I definitely think that's got something to do with that as well. He's from Belgium. He speaks Belgium and stuff like that as well. You see the manager speaking 5 languages yesterday. So there's a few people getting mega excited about that. So I think he's coming in for the Morocco. I think we're going to see a few more Moroccans at Ibrox, and if that's the case, bring it on, man, because there's a lot of talent coming from that part of the world. So if he can tell you about a few nuggets about their personality and bring that to the table, then that's definitely, because that other guy that left, no offence to the guy, I know he's got family problems, so wish him all the best, but you didn't really see what he was bringing to the table. You know, they were quite cold on the bench. This guy straight away, I don't know if you noticed last night when you were at the game, but this guy was involved a lot more with Coman, you know. He was standing up next to him and helping him with tactical advice. So that was a change for sure, you know. He was a lot more involved like you used to see with managers in the past. Because in the past, Coman's just standing there himself and the coaches are just sitting there watching the game. And I know some people's got the opinion that once the team's on the park, you can't really change that much. They can't hear what you're saying anyway. But it was good to see this guy involved in like giving Coman hints. Oh, let's do this, let's try that. So that was a good change from the norm.
It's interesting, actually, just the way you were talking there. Since the new chief executives come in, there does seem to be a change in strategy. And despite the fact we're going to go through a whole, external review. Just listening to some of the stuff we talked about tonight, from the style of the changing the way the players that are playing, the type of players, new assistant manager, kind of Kevin Thompson, people talk about in terms of the academy. There does seem to be a bit of a change of approach, and lots of things have happened in maybe the last month that I've never really thought about till I was listening to some of the stuff you're saying there, Ricky.
I think that's been Patrick Stewart's influence since
yes. 100%. Because, probably it's not just Patrick Stewart. I think Patrick Stewart's came in and Coman has obviously not been getting help in the past. He's obviously wanted to change things the same way as Gerrard did, and he's been telling people, but he said nobody to support him with the changes that he wanted to make, because as soon as Patrick Stewart's came in, he's probably said to the manager, like, what do you need? What's going on here, you know? So they've made the decisions together, and you've seen a change. You have seen a change. I mean, our form's a lot better. Things are a lot more settled at the club, and we are making these changes now. Sports science, new assistant coach. Okay, that one was forced. Kevin Thompson in at the academy, which is always a good thing, you know, because he's really good with young players. He knows what Rangers is all about, so he can support the young boys. I think that's a great addition to the coaching staff for lower down. So things like that are only going to help, you know.
Yeah, Scott, I don't know if you ever going to come in there. It was interesting when you actually think of what's happened over the last month, the amount of changes that probably, as you say, the strategy appears totally different.
It does, and listen, we all want it changed, don't we? We see it happening, so hopefully we're gradually moving forward, because that's where the club has to go. We've been stagnating for too long, and all we want to do is be successful. And yeah, we all want to be successful. We want to win the league and cups and every game, and that's not always going to happen. But I think if you can see the club moving forward in the right sense, in the right way, then you can think something's happening here. It's when we've been kind of not going anywhere, and everything's just flying by us, and I think what's going on. So it's good to see that. But change is great, Gary. We're doing, but all I'll say is next season, if Coman's still here, which it probably will be, and he starts the season pool again, it's like the wagon start to circle again. Do you know what I mean? It's just football. So hopefully it's 3 steps at a time, and hopefully it gets us back on the road we should be in, because it's been a long time since we've put in a domestic challenge, and that's my bugbear. European football is great, but I want to start challenging domestically, because I'm fed up coming into this time of year and the league's fucking finished. Do you know what I mean? It's not good enough.
So that takes us to the league then. So we've got a game on Sunday, 40 hours from now, against Ross County side. I may be wrong, Ricky, but their away form isn't great. I think it's their home form that's good for Ross County, whereas our home form is probably exceptional. Probably, I think in fact it's the best it's probably been in years, apparently, when you look at the statistics. What was it, 1 draw and 10, 11, 12 wins. I suppose looking at the game, the big thing, I suppose, we've had a tough week. Tough guys that to have, as you talked about. There's a number of players that have probably run into the ground a wee bit in the last week. Would you be looking to make a lot of changes, or do you leave that to the Queen's Park game the following week?
Well, listen. How mad is football nowadays, man? We've just played all of these games over December and January, and now we're into February, and there's no But fair play to the players; they did it themselves. We've got 2 free midweeks. I think we'll play Kilmarnock away on the 26th of February is our next midweek game, mate. So it's good. Yeah, you're right, but I don't think we can rest players for Ross County on Sunday. I think you need to go with Butwin, Tav. I would go with Suter, Enciawa, and Yefte, Raskin, Diamande, Haji, Igamane, Dessers, and Cherny would be the team. Try and get a few goals up. Try and get a couple of goals in the first half. If you can go 2-3 up, and then the second half, get your Rice, your Finlay Curtis. Let's see these guys. Let's give them a good 30, 40 minutes at Ibrox. The team's coasting. You're winning 3-0. Let's see what these guys can do. And for me, that would be a perfect weekend. So that's the way I would be approaching the game. And then as soon as that game finishes on Sunday, you give your Tavernier, you see the players that have deserved it, that have played all their minutes, you give them 3 days off, or 2 days off at least, You start preparing for the Queen's Park game on the Thursday or the Friday, the same as you would if you had a midweek game. Let them completely forget about football, go and have 3 days, go and have a few days in Dubai, whatever you want, do what you want. Because, listen, the footballers are different nowadays, man. You can give them 3 days off. They're not going to be... Tav's going to be stroking his devil dogs. He's not going to be in Dubai getting absolutely drunk on the champagne. The days are over now. So for me, you could give them a few days off. Let the players that deserve it after... get a good victory on Sunday, give them, and then start preparing for the Queen's Park game towards the end of that week, because you've got a free midweek and the players deserve it. That's how I would be approaching it. But Comont will probably have them in on Monday after Sunday.
Scott, what about yourself? Would you let them all go to the Bell game one more time and then start to rest and recover?
No, I'd maybe change a few. Take Cherny out, give him couple of weeks to rest. He's done a lot anyway since he's been in loan. He's played a lot of football, like Clement says, and he's due a rest for what he's done. I would take him out. I would start Curtis, I have to say. I think you bring Hadji back in, maybe give Barami a rest. And I don't know if I'd play Suter Gary. I don't know if I want to keep him rested, because there's got a lot of football coming up, do you know what I mean, the next few weeks, and you want him to be involved in that. So I don't want to chuck him back in this early and he breaks down again. That's how behind John Suter does. So I don't know, we've got enough cover at centre half. You've got Anzala coming back, you get Fernandez, you've also got Tav who can play there, do you know what I mean? So I think he has to mix up a wee bit, I think, because a lot of players gave a lot last night. We did, and bring in some of the boys, fresh legs. We're at home. If it was away from home, you might see it's slightly different, but at Ibrox, if you can't beat Ross County Ibrox with a few changes, then they should chuck it.
No. There's probably not that many players. I mean, there's obviously, I say, is it cute Kanji? I'd like to see some of them, maybe Rice getting a game, moving. There's probably not a lot of the younger ones you want to start with, 2 or 3 of them, maybe at most, but also the other players that played the last few games probably deserve to keep their place. I think that's part of it as well. And you'd like to bleed some of them a bit more the last half hour as opposed to the first hour.
The thing is, if you can't play against Ross County, then who can they play against? They put them on Old Trafford. So if they can play against United at Old Trafford, how can they play against Ross County?
No, 100%. But why would you drop Diamante and Raskin for Rice, for example?
That's Gary. That's we have this conversation every time on the pod, but it's just not going to happen. I care. We agree. We both agree 100%. I would play Rice, give Diamante a rest, but Comont's not going to do it. For a fact, if you think that he's going to start Rice on Sunday, it's just I
know that myself. But you're never going to tell how good Billy Rice is until he actually gets consistent.
Mate, it's frustrating. It frustrates the life out of you.
The boys that are on the left foot, man, he's passing superb, but until you see a consistent basis. Listen, he could come in and play 6 or 7 games, and then somebody says, we'll give you this much for him, like they've done with Nathan Patterson a while back, Everton. So, until that happens, sitting on the bench is fine, but sitting on the bench too long, training and sitting on the bench doesn't work, because you end up yourself 3 days stagnant as well. I mean, so I think, and they said, I heard him saying the day, he talked about a player at Bruges, you brought him in for a game in the Champions League, and you never played him again, then you never started him again for 6 months, I think. That's not great, but that's the way he operates, and I think time of his time, Curtis is maybe a wee bit younger and he's just come in, but I think Bailey deserves to start. I think Deal's done a lot of running. I think Deal needs a rest myself, and Raskins had a bit of rest at the start of the season when he was injured, so I think he needs just constant game time. And we have got breaks now, so I still play young guys, but you probably know, you probably start with your strongest team and try to bring them on later on after winning. That's the things that usually happen.
Kerr, I agree with you 100%. I'd love to see Rice start with Raskin, and I think they've got the potential to have a great partnership. And I think probably Rice has the potential to play himself ahead of Barron beside Raskin, because I think that could really work. They two playing together. You saw it at Old Trafford, you know. But like you said, we've got to give these guys opportunities. But I still don't think. I will be amazed if we line up on Sunday and we don't see Czerny. Suter, I agree with. You might see Proper and Encialo. You might give him an extra week's training. But I definitely think you'll see Czerny and you'll see Diamande and you'll see Raskin, just because they're on form as well, you know. And these guys want to play as well, you know. We've not got 2 games a week now, so these guys are wanting to play as well. So you've got that going on with the manager. And I'll be very surprised if you see the young boys starting on Sunday. It would be a nice surprise, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think the more likely is the following week against Queen's Park. You'll see these guys playing. You know, they'll probably get some game time, but not a lot. So, the scorelines, Scott, come to you first.
Sunday, I'm going 3-0. You know, I'm going to go with Desser's first goal.
Ricky?
4-0, mate. I'll go 4-0, and I will go Czerny first goal, and 4-0.
I will go 5-0, and I'll need to pick a player that's not Tavor Dessers because I get more every week from you, don't I? So who will I go with? I'll go with Egerman to score the first goal. There.
Probably 1 or 2-0. Actually, I didn't score that week. I done Theo and Rewan, didn't I? Last week.
You did get it right last week, and Ricky, so I've not had it right, I don't think much, so it's used to have certainly winning that if we were doing it. I think a couple of other things that's happened, probably Dio card overturns, Ricky. There's not a lot to say, but everybody knew it was going to happen.
Apology to Rangers, the new penalty to Rangers for sure, mate. They're getting ridiculous. Apologies to Rangers, apology to Rangers. I think I saw they're going to rename that show that with Gordon Duncan. It's just going to be called, they're going to have a special segment, Apology to Rangers, and they're going to have 3 or 4 decisions that month that he's told them. So we'll see what happens with that going forward. But penalty to Rangers was nicer, but we don't get them anymore. So the right decision, by the way. The right decision. It was the right 100%. Decision.
I was looking at what we played 35 games this season across all competitions or so, something like that with 1 penalty. That's probably more of a statistical anomaly than 10% chance of making the last 8. You know, it's bizarre across all those competitions. Scott, the other thing that jumps out newsworthy to me just now is was it yesterday our former manager left Saudi, Gerrard, was gone. You know, from there I think it's not been successful since he left Rangers. So no, just one of these newsworthy comments that popped in my head, and I thought I'd ask your thoughts on it.
He's got a nice payoff, hasn't he?
15 million, Kerr. 15 million a year.
What would you do? It doesn't make you happy.
Ricky, I'm going to ask you a question on that neck of it. Do you have to play 2 years in Saudi before it's tax free? I heard that.
No. He doesn't even stay in Saudi.
Andy Gray was on Talk Sport, right? Remember the boys that play with him for the Clonley? I don't know if he played in Newcastle.
No,
and he said he played a year, but then he had to go to an Arab country, or his money wasn't tax free.
Gerrard was living in Bahrain with his family because they can drink alcohol in Bahrain, his family and all that, and it's to 100% tax free. The special rules.
You're getting tax taken off. If you play for 2, you're not.
It's different. It's
It's
different for players and managers. Right, they can make the rules up as they go along a little bit over there. So for him, that'll be tax free, and he'll get a massive payout as well. His family's made for life, mate. You're speaking. He's probably going to walk away for there with almost 45 million bangers, which is no bad for being useless at your job for 2 years. You know.
When he left Liverpool, he had a good wad of money, and he still gets gigs doing other stuff. He'll still get sponsorship deals and stuff. He'll still be involved.
He's never going to be short of a bob or two, mate. Exactly, he's never going to be short of a bob or two. But 45 million smackers for 2 years being useless at your jobs is not a bad bit of money to come home.
Question, Gary?
That's what I was going to say. Let's finish that in the Courage question. A wee provocative one. So summertime comes. Clement is on his way. Would you take Gerrard back, Ricky?
No, because it's different. The club's different, mate. He had a 60 million pound wage bill when he was there, wage budget. I mean, is he going to be able to work the magic with 30 million wage? I don't think Gerrard would be the way to go for us. And also, at the time he came to us, he was keen, he was young, he was hungry. What Gerrard would, it's like, he may as well, what is he going to bring Rooney as assistant? You know, I just don't think that's the direction that we need to go in, where we are as a club, you know.
Scott?
Just to be annoying, I'll say aye.
You're just for that one.
He's got unfinished business. No, listen, I don't know where we would go, but if he's an option, you probably look at it. But I don't think. Sometimes managers come back and they do as well. We've seen it at other clubs, but it just depends when we're in that position who we look at. And I think his name would be in the frame, but you bring him back, I don't know.
Gary, stranger things have happened, mate. We've got big games coming up, right? So all the people in the comments that have been absolutely hammering us tonight about going back and forward with opinions, we've got Tynecastle away, Kilmarnock away. We've got some tough away games coming up. If he goes there, and our performance last week against Dundee United was brilliant in the second half. The first half was the same old pish. If it's the same old pish in these grounds and he doesn't pick up points, then things can change fast in football. So if you did get rid of Clement, then stranger things have happened than Steven Gerrard coming back to Rangers. He doesn't need the money, so it's not about how much you can pay him or anything like that. So I don't think it will happen, but stranger things have happened in football, that's for sure, you know.
Never say never. I wouldn't have seen Davy Moyes back at Everton a couple of weeks ago. You wouldn't have seen, a whole host of things that happened. So, and on that note, we will be back on Monday, even to talk about more strange things that are happening, potentially new signings, any fallout or positive comments from Ross County. And thank you for all the comments outside. There've been tons. There's been battles galore from people wanting to come on, agreeing with things, disagreeing with things. So it was good to watch on the side. And sorry if we didn't cover all the points you wanted to make. But there's only so many we can do in the space of an hour and 10 minutes or so. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will be back on Monday, and please hit the like, subscribe, share, all that stuff that goes with it, and we'll see you then. Take care. Bye now.